There are many versions of the Messianic movement, but they're all Christian.
There is a lady in chat who is Messianic. This is for her. Sherry D is watching right now live, and she's a Messianic. And she's going back and forth saying, no, she's not a Christian. No, she's not a Christian, but she's Messianic. But she's saying she's not a Christian.
So my question really is, aside from cultural features, what's the difference between the Messianic movement and Christians? Like, for example, do you think that Christians, and I recognize that there are Christians that don't believe what you believe, right? So, like Roman Catholics venerate Mary. I get it that you don't believe that the Pope is the vicar of Christ. I get all that. But in what way, in substance, is what you believe different than what let's say someone in the Assemblies of God, if you're charismatic Pentecostal, or someone who is a Baptist in substance, or a Seventh-day Adventist who says that the Sabbath is Sunday? So they're the same, except that the Messianic movement practices rabbinic customs, that's all. And they do it quite selectively. And that's the Messianic movement is an iteration of Christianity. And because some Messianic churches emerged from the Pentecostal movement, so they're Pentecostal Messianic congregations. There are Southern Baptist Messianic congregations that reject the charismatic movement. So that's all it is.
Right.
They're just using terms and introducing Jewish culture, customs. But in terms of salvation, there's no difference. They're the same thing. And that's, people like the Hebrew stuff, but it's all cultural. Like, let's say you do Davidic dancing as an example, right? Let's say you celebrate the Sabbath and Hanukkah like the menorah, but you don't believe, I presume, that if someone doesn't engage in these traditional Jewish cultural practices, that they're going to go to hell, right? Conversely, I presume, we don't know each other, that if someone practices these things but doesn't believe in Jesus, they're going to go to hell and they have no salvation. So the Messianic movement really is just a cultural, ethnic expression, Jewish expression that's placed on Christianity. There's no difference at all. It is Christianity. Okay, there are Unitarian Messianics, just like there are Unitarian Christians, but they're Christians.
My thought would be, if you believe in a dying, saving man God of any kind, that's New Testament like figured, that's Christianity, no matter what you wrap it in. If you wrap it in,
of course, it's Christianity. Of course, it is. The problem for the church was in the 20th century is that they realized that Jews do not want to convert to Christianity. They don't want to lose their Jewish identity. And this was a barrier, in their view, a meaningless barrier that prevented Jews from becoming Christians. So they invented the Messianic movement, which misappropriated, adopted Jewish customs. Almost all of it is rabbinic. The same Christians that tell you we don't believe in rabbinic Judaism, you don't believe in biblical Judaism, all they're doing that distinguishes them from Southern Baptists or Assemblies of God Christians who are Christian Zionists and all the rest is cultural and so on. Moreover, even if somebody Messianic do something that is not rabbinic, that's scriptural. Let's say they keep a Saturday Sabbath. There are such people. They will not tell you, this is critical, that if someone doesn't keep these rituals, that they're going to go to hell. They don't believe that. So, I'm encouraging you to test this out. You have to be very careful. If you ask you can believe anything you want to, but if you ask the people that you respect very specifically, let's say somebody believes in Jesus and believes in all the things that the Messianics believe in. There are many versions of the Messianic movement, but they're all Christians. If you ask them, let's say they don't practice any of these cultural, ethnical things, that don't keep any of these ritual commandments, are they still saved? The answer is yes. And if you ask them, let's say you have an Orthodox Jew who practices all these things but doesn't believe in Jesus, are they going to be saved? The answer is no. There it is. So it definitely feels good. A lot of people like the Jewishness of it. And it's very in now. It's just in vogue in churches around the world to try to include more Jewish traditions, cultures, and Hebrew little things in Shabbat Shalom. It's just very in. But in substance, it is indistinguishable in terms of salvific features. There's no difference at all. It's a machination of the Christian religion. While we are called rabbinic Jews and all these things, it's really the Messianic movement that practices rabbinic Judaism. I'm going to end with this.
That's good.
I won't embarrass him. There's a very, very, very famous Messianic leader. Very famous. I don't know how many years ago it was. I don't know. You'd all know his name. He's a big knocker in the Messianic movement. But he's been in it for a very long time. So I asked him a question. We were both at a Messianic conference of some, so we were in the same place, and he turned to me and he nervously said hello and whatever. I forget the exchange, but here was the point. I asked him the following question, because sometimes you need to know the exact question to ask in order to tease out what's happening here. I asked him, and I assure you, if you have any knowledge of the Messianic movement, you would know who he is, okay? I asked them, listen carefully, is it just possible for a Jew to convert to Christianity? Is that possible? Got it? And he looked at me, and really it was like a deer in the headlights look, because I framed it in exactly the way that it needed to be framed. That's a fairly good question. Is it possible for a Jew to convert to Christianity? Is that possible? Now, we all know, of course, it's possible. A Jew can convert to any religious system. And he looked at me and said, yeah, it is. He had to say it is. Of course it's possible. So I then asked him, if that's the case, that a Jew can convert to Christianity, what is the difference between you and a Jew that converts to Christianity? And he was totally floored by that question. He paused, he looked at me, and he knew he was dealing with me, which means he couldn't give some sophomoric answer. And he said the difference is cultural, that we retain cultural identity of Jewish culture, and they don't. That's it. And that's what it is. The Messianic movement has inculcated Jewish culture, traditions, misappropriated Jewish icons and symbols in order to convert Jews to Christianity. Those symbols and icons became very attractive to the church in general, Protestant church in general, which means the Messianic movement rode the wave of this idea that came after the Holocaust. And that's what's going on here. Messianic movement is fully Christian, but they practice rabbinic Judaism, and their fundamental beliefs are all thoroughly Christian. Anyways, thank you so much for your question, and I wish you all shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next week. Same time, same place, hopefully.
Look forward to it.
Okay.
Shalom.
Shalom. Thank you. If you've ever tried to watch one of my videos and it says members only, that's only temporary. All my videos are free. They eventually become public, but if you want immediate, unedited access with limited ads, you'll have to join the YouTube channel for $5 a month. This can only be done through YouTube. Also, if you have found this channel helpful and this has blessed you or your family members in helping bring you out of idolatry, I would love to have your support. Please consider donating to this channel directly. That would be pretty awesome. Donations can be done through PayPal, Patreon, or through snail mail. The links to all are added in the video description below. You can also click this link and it will take you straight to my website with a donate button, which leads you right through PayPal. Thank you once again for your kindness and consideration for supporting this work. Blessings for you, your family, and your home. Shalom. Shalom, my dear friends. Hope this message finds you well. If you like the way this channel is going, and the channel has been a blessing to you, please consider supporting the channel by going to the website, TaNaChTalk.com, TaNaChTalk.com. Thank you once again for your time and for supporting TaNaCh Talk. Shalom.
תמיד כולם ביחד, חשוב מכל חשוב והכרחי להיות ביחד. איפוק זו העוצמה, ויתור זו הגדולה, השאיפה